Welcome back to the StillAmericans Homestead. I'm in the outdoor kitchen right now. Hey, if you don't have a DeWalt battery-powered fan when you live off-grid, you're wrong. It's the wrong answer. You need one. So that's basically AC. We live a lot off battery power. It's full swing gardening time. The garden's going crazy. And so I picked some fresh dill just a minute ago and I thought, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a little pickling. So might as well film it. I'm gonna pickle, obviously, some of these cucumbers here. So normally when you pickle cucumbers, you want them to be bumpy on the outside, kind of have little bumps and stuff. These are a special little variety. I'm gonna cut them into quarters and then we're gonna go that route. So the first thing I'm gonna do, because it takes a little while, I'm gonna process some of this garlic. But before I do that, I've got some of my rainwater here. This is filtered rainwater and some vinegar. This is 5% vinegar. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna make the simple solution. So I'm gonna do 2 cups of water, 2 cups of vinegar, so 50-50 solution. I'm gonna do 2.5-ish tablespoons of salt. This is Redmond real salt. Highly recommend that. All right, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure out roughly, doesn't have to be exactly precise. So there's 1 cup of water. 2 cups of water. Like I said, it's filtered rainwater there. Which is also what I'm drinking here. Delicious. Now let's get our vinegar. A 1. A 2. That'll work. All right. And I didn't bring a stirring utensil, but I got this knife right here, so I'm just gonna kind of get that salt stirred around so it doesn't really clump to the bottom or anything. So nothing too crazy. All right, now that that's going, we got some peppercorns here. I'm gonna toss those in. All right, I'm gonna process some of this garlic. My trash can is kind of far away, but it'll be fine. Okay, now then, what I'm going to do here, get my jars, toss the garlic in the bottom, I'm going to toss a couple little pieces of dill in the bottom. Delicious. And that flavor, can't beat it. Now what I'm going to do is just come in real quick and cut these. Now, this might be controversial. I cut both ends off. And they seem to turn out just fine. So, do that. These won't go to waste, so I'll use those for the chickens and such, but basically measure that out. Alright, and I'll use this as like a kind of a guide of what's going to fit in the jar. The dogs love these, so I get them trims. Alright, and then like I said, we're going to make these into little spears. So I'm just going down the middle, and then having it again. There we go, little spears. So I'm cutting these first, getting these, I'm going to put these in the jar. So you'll see here, got the garlic and dill in there. And then then what I'm going to do is just kind of lay it on its side. Let's see, so you know what? I really want these to be a little bit shorter. So those trimmings you can use for, you know, you can feed them to the chickens, the dogs, guineas, goats, whatever you want. But you could also use them for yourself. Just eat them, put them in a salad, whatever you want. So, see, there's a little garlic in there. So when Christy gets home from work, at the Missouri Tea Company, then there'll be some fresh pickles here. And she's quite a pickle hound. So, boom. Just right on top of that garlic. Smash those in there. Might have room for one more even if I'm lucky. There we go. Kind of get those in there. Oh yeah. And that's why I put the dill at the bottom. And then I'm also gonna toss a little sprig in the center there. Alright? Can't go wrong with the dill. Trust me on that. Trust me on that, you can't go wrong with the dill. Alright, so what we're going to do next, I thought I was actually going to have enough to do more, but I won't. So luckily, I do have some serrano peppers and jalapenos, so I'll do those in a little jar. What I'll do is just toss some garlic in there. Same thing, I'm going to put a couple of sprigs of dill in there as well. And then I'm going to chop these guys up like you use them for putting on a burger or sandwich, eating on nachos, whatever. So take these, I'm just gonna cut them up into little rounds. Us personally, we like quite spicy, so I'm leaving all the seeds, everything as is. So I've got these little serrano, like some of these are I think 2 of these are serranos and 1 of these is a jalapeno. So they're gonna be very delicious. Now these, you don't want to feed the dogs. You can feed them to the chickens, but don't feed them to the dogs. I'm not putting peppercorns in these. I don't think it'll need the pepper. If I did, it would just be for looks. So, kind of smash those down on there. All right. So now we've got our cucumbers chopped. We've got our serranos and jalapenos chopped. We've got our garlic and our fresh dill in the jars. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our liquid that we made. I'm going to get the BioLite going, and we're going to heat this up to a boil. Then we're going to put it in our jars, seal them up, and let them cool off. And then they'll be ready, hopefully, by the time Christy gets home from work, and then I'll let her do a taste test. Okay, so this here is a BioLite camp stove. It's pretty cool. I just keep a little bucket full of wood. And you'll see here, normally it's not too hard to get this thing started, so hopefully I can do it. I mean, I just generally use paper towels and rolled up whatever. This thing's got a little fan on it. So you turn that on. Toss your wood in there. And then you hope it starts. Which we'll just let it do its thing in real time. I'm not going to mess with it. You see for yourself if it's easy. It's got a USB port here where you can charge things. It takes the heat from the fire and turns that into energy that you can use to charge things. This is another great off-grid device. It's also got a built-in fan that swirls that fire. So, I mean, as you can see, got some popping in there. So if there's anything, it'll be user error. Like, I might have just messed it up by adding another piece of wood, but we'll see. So I'm just letting that do its thing. I think we might be okay. And then once that's up and going, we'll take our pickling liquid. We'll take the pickling liquid and toss it right on there. And then it'll take, I mean, no time at all, that thing will be boiling. So there's some flame. Just let it do its thing. Like I said, I just keep these little sticks, and it doesn't take that many, you'll see. This is just old scrap from various projects I've done. All right, looks like we're cooking now. All right, now let's toss this right on there. Let it do its thing, and then I just have a couple pieces extra. We'll see how many it takes. I'm just gonna guess that many. Little goats! Little baby goats! Chick, 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 chickies! Guineas! So you can be pretty low tech and still get things done. I mean, battery operated fan, using little small scrap pieces of wood to get this boiling. If I wanted to, I could be charging my phone. Does it get hot? Sure, it gets hot sometimes living this way. Not having air conditioning, you know, not having a thermostat which we just go adjust. Yeah, I want to be 69 degrees right now. So, go down to the root cellar to cool off if you want to. Go jump in the pond, take an outdoor shower. There's all kinds of options. Or you can just suck it up and enjoy. Clothing selection matters, so wearing linens. I mean, I'm sweating, but this thing will dry off as soon as I get in front of the fan. Obviously I'm by fire and stuff, so I'm pretty hot right now. But yeah, wearing linen, man, that's a high quality piece of cloth right there. So it's actually, that might be enough, we'll see. I'm gonna trade this out for a shorter piece. So that's even less BTUs right there. That has less BTUs in it, so we'll see. But I think we're good. I see the small boil. It's not rolling yet, but it's small. So we're at like 180, 190 degrees. It's gonna be there pretty soon. I'm gonna try not to use this last guy. And then you see, I mean, this thing is so efficient. Just toss that right on top. It couldn't get easier than that. Off-grid lifestyle does not have to be hard. It can be simple, fun, and easy at the same time. Or you can make it hard. Let's see what we're looking at here. We'll toss it in. I want it to really be boiling. That's where we're at. You see those small bubbles popping? And we'll be at a full boil here in a couple seconds. It doesn't take long. Before you know it, you're at a boil. All right, so I'm taking this is from this last piece right here, right? So I'll just toss it on real quick so you can see that indeed it is at a rolling boil. All right, so then I'm gonna take that thing right over here. I'm gonna set the camera up. We're not gonna let it cool off very much. So I want it to soften those peppers for sure. So first, what we're gonna do is, I'm just gonna pour some of that in there. Get everything, get all the way up to the top. All right. Beautiful. So what I'm gonna do here is gently toss that on. Same for this one. I'm not sealing it. Okay, just letting it do its thing. And I've got some extra pickling liquid, so I'm gonna figure out what else to pickle. And there you have it. It's very easy. And boy, does it look pretty. And taste even better. I'll give you an update when Christy gets home from work and she samples this, all right?